Do you want to be able to do this? While this is fun, I'm going to show you some better ways to win more fights in Apex Legends. Before I get into it though, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Psykho, a professional Apex Legends coach, currently coaching for Oxygen Esports, one of the best teams in the world behind TSM and DarkZero. That's me, in the green suit, celebrating a matched win during the ALGS Split 2 playoffs in London. And throughout my career, I've helped both pro players and casual players master and work on their mechanical skills. And in this video, I'm going to show you how important movement in fights is, how it works, as well as teach you why you're losing gunfights. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The basics of strafing. The basics of strafing is all about fighting as well as positioning ourselves where we want to be during the fight. The whole idea is just all about avoiding bullets and lining ourselves up to hit the most critical areas of our opponent as much as possible. The whole idea of why this is important for every player to know how to fundamentally strafe is because using certain techniques can help you take less damage and win a fight against an opponent. So whether you're a seasoned player or just getting started, I'll be guiding you from start to finish how to correctly strafe and giving you some of the best in-fight movement secrets and techniques that you can use while you're in any gunfight. Mirroring. All movement is mirrored while using the strafing technique, so you're not going to be going around in a circle with your opponent. So just remember that while we're doing this. It's all about just following alongside your opponent directly. As you can see, the idea is all about copying just the same exact movement of your enemy. He goes right, you go right. They jump, you jump, so on. Now, you really only want to use this method when your opponent isn't paying attention to you, allowing you to just score easy shots. You are at an armor or health advantage against your opponent, or when your opponent has a weapon that is worse than yours in a given fight, giving you an advantage in said fight because your weapon is better. In this example shown, I had 3 out of the 3 situations occur, but just to be clear, you only need 1 or more to justify mirroring. So let's just get into the fight. I'm aware that a team is going to come up from these stairs on my right. So I've already placed a catwall to block off line of sight to play alongside it in order to surprise attack this enemy that's going to be coming here. At this point, I track the Octane coming in and I take the Horizon Q back over my catwall. This confuses the enemy and then allows me to just come right behind them and mirror strafe them while shooting at them, killing both in the process. Mirror strafing can also be defined as sometimes a way to strafe aim. You might do it while you're strafe aiming, but the whole point is I'm just following along where my enemies are and strafing in this particular situation. Again, you only need 1 out of the 3 to really justify it. So you might be even in a situation where in a given fight, you're going to be able to do it while somebody's actually attacking you, right? You could just have a better weapon or have an armor advantage and go ahead and win that fight. Counter mirroring. If you're using context clues here, you already probably guessed this one right, but the idea of counter mirroring is to do the opposite of what your opponent is doing during your gunfight. When you're counter mirroring, your goal should be to make yourself hard to hit and not letting your opponent mirror you directly. You should counter mirror when you're on the opposite end of mirroring at an advantage. So some good examples would be when your opponent is paying attention to you and attempting to mirror you directly. When you are at health or armor disadvantage, and or when your opponent has a weapon that is simply better than yours. In this clip I'm showing here, I once again had 3 out of 3 situations occur, but to be clear, once more, you only need 1 to just justify a counter mirror. As you can see, I have a catwall down and I'm popping a battery behind this cover. My teammate is already dead and there's a gunfight in front of me. So after popping the battery, I'm looking for a third-party opportunity or some damage. When peeking, I take some damage from this incoming horizon. I peek through my wall to see if I can get some damage back, but she essentially expects this and fries me again immediately. At this point, I'm a bit scared of dying, so I go back through my wall, but the wall goes down. At this point, I have no choice but to counter mirror due to now having no cover, basically, and this being a fight, being SMG, and we're both in front of each other. So, without any choice, without any cover, and while in the situation at an armor disadvantage, I'm basically utilizing a counter strafing or counter mirroring method in order to win this fight. It's all about the weapon difference here, the wall going down, me already being at the armor disadvantage, and them attempting to mirror me and easily kill me off of just doing that because they know they're at the armor advantage. Before we go ahead into more strafing techniques though, I just wanted to mention quickly that those of you looking to improve your in-fight movement or overall gameplay, that I have a Metafy page where you can request private coaching and submit VODs of your gameplay for me to review. Metafy is a very trusted site full of coaches like myself who want to help you improve, and you can find a link to my page in the description below. Besides that, if you want more awesome content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It'll help YouTube push guides like this to your randoms, which we both know could really use them. Moving on, my favorite and most underutilized strafing technique, crouch spamming. Crouch spamming can be used while mirroring or counter mirroring. Now, why you would choose that during a fight is a little off-putting. Some people are like, why would you want to crouch during a fight? Well, if you take a look at my crosshairs here, you'll notice that while I'm not aiming down sights, the crosshair becomes slightly thinner. This is something you could take advantage of when in a gunfight and why crouch spamming has a ton of value. Think about the combination for a second. You're giving yourself up and down strafes, alongside side-to-side strafes, plus a tighter spray each time you crouch fire your weapon. Situations you should consider crouch spamming in are when your opponent is expecting you to be standing or strafing left to right during a fight, or when your weapon doesn't have a very tight spray pattern while hip firing, when your enemy has a gun that will not do too much damage if it were to just graze you, for example, a massive hitting you over the shoulder. Lastly, when your enemy is performing it against you and you want to copy them. So these are all situations where crouch spamming is valid. Let's talk about this example that I have for you now. So in this clip, we have 2 out of the 4 criteria met. As you can see, I'm running into this circular building and there's one knocked player and one player up. Likely, this player is going to try to res the other player here. As I get closer, I hear them rezzing right outside of the door, so I slide into the room with my EVA 8. After taking out the catalyst, I crouch spam to the right to avoid getting shot heavily by the Wraith's bullets, which go right past my head to the left, and another few bullets just graze my shoulder. At this point, I know that the Wraith is flesh, so I mirror and crouch spam to the right, killing them, and basically ending it out with a headshot in the end because of how I crouch spam, looked up, and had the tight spray of the EVA interact with how I was moving. Now, onto my last and favorite strafing method, the Gandhi hop. Gandhi hopping is when you jump and crouch at the same time. You can use this technique in situations where you want to get an extra headshot damage value due to the height of your jump. You also might want to use it as a repositioning tool, sliding towards the end of the technique. You can also unexpectedly get shot in your back and turn around and react with this technique, as people usually don't expect it. And or lastly, you can use this when you have a weapon that makes sense for the technique, such as the PK. In this example, I've met 2 out of the 4 criteria. The desired headshot damage was one of them, and I also had the Peacekeeper. Now, I know that I've knocked the Octane on this Horizons team. However, once they rezzed, the Octane moved his zone while I wanted to sit and fight the Horizon. I understood that the Horizon was no longer on this fence line and that the Octane was getting rezzed, and so I'm more so looking to peek from the side of the building. But I don't want to do that because it seems like if I were to peek it, I'd just take more damage than necessary. So this is why I, instead of running straight at her and trying to peek off of the building wall, I decided to wall bounce off of these boxes to the right and shoot her. But once I landed, I performed a Gandhi hop to the left in order to deal the most damage I could without taking as much in return. I'm trying to essentially utilize as much movement as I can to dodge this person's bullets and confuse them as much as possible in order to execute them and eliminate them as quickly as possible. As we wrap her up, we just went over several ways that you can take less damage in fights by just implementing small movement techniques into your gameplay. And I just want to explain that all these techniques require creativity, and you might find that when using them yourself, that some methods work better for certain situations than others, specifically for yourself, which is great. That's what we want. At the end of the day, running out in the open and strafing to avoid bullets is very unlikely to keep you alive, and I'm not recommending that you do that. These methods should be used as a last resort and when you get into gunfights that call for their execution. So please, feel free to ask any questions and put your thoughts in the comments below. I always try my best to ensure every comment gets answered. Thank you for watching, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button for more content like this. And be sure to check out my coaching page on Medify. Peace out.